This video is for first grade lesson 27, and I'll be going over each of the sections and solving some of the problems to help you understand how to do these type of questions. So the first section is about addition and subtraction, and I'll start with number 1. Now, number 1 says 16 plus 4, and I can solve this problem by using a step method. So for step method, you'll start with the first number, which is 16 in this problem, and add 4, which means you go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right or to the front. And then all you have to do after that is just count 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 goes under the underline, on top of the underline, so we know that the answer for number 1 is 20. Let's look at number 7. It says 34 plus 14 plus 7. And another way to solve these type of questions are by using vertical method. And for when you're solving by vertical method, you have to make sure that you line up the numbers by its place. So ones placed by ones and tens by tens. So that's why we lined up the 4 and 4 together and 3 and 1 together. So we're going to start by adding 4 and 4. 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. So we're going to put 8 under the 4. And after that, we're going to add 3 and 1. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So we're going to put 4 under 3 and 1. So we got 48 for 34 plus 14. And now what we have to do is we use that to add it with 7, because this question has 3 numbers additions problem. This is a 3-number addition problem. So now we have to do 8 plus 7. 8 plus 7 is equal to 15. So 15 has 1, which is the tens place, and 5 in the ones place. So we're going to put 5 in ones place under 8 and 7, and we're going to put 1 on top of the tens place. And now we're going to add 4 and 1 together. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. So we're going to put 55 as our answer. Lastly, we're going to do number 14 together. Number 14 says 34 minus 13. And lastly, we can use shapes or other like circles, squares, triangles, anything you would like to solve this type of question. This one is actually a subtraction problem. We're going to do rectangle as 10. So 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 13. So 10 and 1, 2, 3. We're going to subtract. So we're going to cross out all the things that matches with each other. Cross out this, 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 and this 10. So let's count what we have left. We have 10, 20, 1. So when we add all of them together, we get 21. Moving on to the next page, we have order. So I'm only going to show how to do one of them, because the first half is from largest to smallest, and the second half is smallest to largest. So let's look at number 3. Number 3 has 4, 6, 13, 64, 15, and 77. And because this first half is about largest to smallest, we're going to put the largest number in front. So when we look at this question, we have to look at the tens place first, if they have a tens place. So out of the tens place, 1, 6, 1, and 7, we know that 7 is the largest, so we put 77. And then we have 6, which is the greatest among 1, 6, and 1. So we're going to put 64 after that. And now we have 13 and 15. Because 13 and 15 both have the same tens place, we have to look at the ones place now. When we look at the ones place, 3 is less than 5, or 5 is greater than 3, so we're going to put 15 first, and then 13. Now we are down to two numbers, the 4 and 6, which doesn't have tens place. So we just look at 4 and 6 and see which one's bigger. We know that 6 is greater than 4, so we're going to put 6 first and then 4. And this is how you're going to reorder numbers. Now the next section is about counting by, and there's only 4 questions of the similar type of questions. So the first question says, count and color by 6. So we're going to go by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and color in by every 6. So 6, and then we have, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to color in here again. And then we're going to renumber 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2. So for number 1, we would have 6, 12, and 18 colored. Looking at the word problem section, we'll be doing number 4 together. Emily is 12 years old. Her brother is 5 years old. And her sister is 8 years old. The first question asks how much older is Emily than her younger brother. So for now we don't need her sister. We have to look at Emily and her brother's age. So 12 and 5. To see how much older Emily is than her younger brother, we have to do 12 minus 5. So we know the difference between them. So one way to do this is actually by using step method or by using circles. And I'll be using circles for this question. 1, 2. So we first have to draw 12 circles and then subtract 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and count how much you have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we know that Emily is 7 years older than her younger brother. And the second section of this question asks, when Emily is 15 years old, how old will her sister be? This might look hard, but what you have to do is, since Emily is 12 years old and you have to get to 15, you have to think about, okay, how much greater is 15 than 12? So you have to do 15 minus 12. 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. 1 minus 1 is 0, so it is plus 3. So when Emily is 12, her sister is 8 years old. So we have to look at how old will she be when like 3 years after. 3 years from now. So when you do that, you will get 8 plus 3 is equal to 8, 9, 10, 11. Her younger sister will be 11 years old.